raise your hand if you just love setting SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. Have you set a SMART goal that you then didn't hit the timeline and it made you feel terrible about yourself? Or perhaps you set an attainable goal, but it's also just a blog goal and it's not very inspiring. Or if you're like me and unimpressed by SMART goals, this video is for you on what to do instead so that you can crush your goals and pull forward the most vivid vision of your life faster than you believe is possible right now. We're gonna be calling those play goals, and I cannot wait to see what you think. SMART goals were first outlined back in 1981 by 3 dudes who noticed many business goals were too vague to have meaningful impact. Which, that's totally legit, that's fair. But like I said, the problem with SMART goals is that they're very limiting in that you really have to have certainty on how to achieve the goal to set a true SMART goal, and that means you're inherently playing small, because certainty requires that you have done it before. Now, SMART goals are also very grounded in predictable timelines, not allowing space for things to happen faster than we can even imagine. And so the logical mind gets in the way of seeing things differently and believing more is possible. Now, it's okay to not have the how figured out all the time, because my other bit of beef I have with SMART goals is that, frankly, they're grounded in white and Western thinking, which is very logical, step by step, and if we're honest, it does demand some level of perfectionism. So what else are we to do? Now look, I am a goal digger. I execute a huge volume of work and I set incredibly ambitious goals for myself. And until 2022, I got my goals with brute strength, stubbornness, long nights, and old-fashioned hard work. And then in 2022, that strategy wasn't working anymore because I was burnt out, I was sick, I had lost my voice, kind of like I have now. Sorry, I sound weird. And something had to change. I remember fearing like, am I ever gonna be the same? Am I gonna be able to race my mountain bike again or cross-country ski again? I might not be able to go to events again because flight travel wipes me out so much. Or, okay, I'm always gonna struggle to rally the energy to just be there for my husband and my family when I feel like all I can do is get through the day. So a number of things happened to me at that time, and truly one of them was learning the exercise of self-care. But also, I discovered a new way of thinking about goal setting. All of a sudden, I met this amazing guy with ease, married him, bought my first home, came to me with total ease, bought land, dream come true, saved 50% of my income, made new friends, they totally filled my cup up. So what happened? What changed? This is how it works. Instead of having SMART goals, there are 3 fields that you can gently place your goals: the field of predictable, the field of possible, and the field of potential. Now, the field of predictable, this is the comfort zone, right? Okay, so you've got quite a bit of certainty about achieving this goal, like perhaps reading a book a month. It's like kind of status quo results with time taking about as long as you would expect. And there's this belief here that you gotta work harder, longer hours to achieve these goals. And often it can kind of feel like scarcity or a little bit of lack of safety. And you know you have a goal in the field of predictable if you need it to happen. I need those info interviews to turn into a contract. I need this work by year's end or I'm a failure, which is not right. Then we have the field of possibility. So this is where you place goals that have a 50-50 chance. Maybe they're gonna work, maybe they won't, but I'm okay no matter what. You're willing to face your fears, like that fear of rejection, the fear of failure. This field requires courage, doing something you have never seen, done, or know how to do. Then we can even place goals or dreams in the field of potential. And this is the space where things happen that don't even make sense, right? Like if you want to call them miracles, that's what they are. You're totally detached from the timeline. There's no needing energy. In this field, that you access it through trust. You can access it by kind of imagining a future like it's a memory in the future, but also like I personally like to leave this space blank and be like, hey, yo, surprise me. Like take it beyond my wildest dreams. There are 4 traps I see people fall into when they are chasing their goals and their dreams. Number 1, you dwell in the field of predictable. The biggest thing I see is when people are like, I need certainty before I can begin something new. So when people DM me and they're like, well, how soon will I make 15,000 or 50,000? And you're telling me you gotta have certainty, which actually is limiting your earnings. I have members that have done 275K in their first year. Several have done over 100,000. But those people, they're not asking for certainty on when their 9-to-5 job income is gonna be replaced. There's a distinct difference here. Trap number 2 is that if things progress slower than you expect, you think it means something about you as a person, and you start to create meaning out of it. Those info interviews aren't turning into paid contracts. I suck. Why would anyone bet on me? Well, whoa. How about that? How about I've got a skills deficit here? What a fun puzzle I get to solve. I am invited to level up. Let's go. Something can happen and we can make completely different meaning on it depending on what we project there. Trap number 3 is dragging a field of possible goal into the field of predictable. I was chatting with a longtime friend of mine. She's been wanting to work for herself again, but she was saying, like, if I don't make it work this time, I'm never going to get another chance. My husband's tired of my ideas never taking off. I have to make this work this time, which, by the way, I'm guessing her husband doesn't actually believe that. That is the criticism and story that she's placing on herself. She had these ideas that were expansive, and then she just dumped need energy all over it instead of holding it lightly. Like, what if it works? What if it doesn't? I'm still okay. Trap number 4, not paying attention to your language. And boy, do the words we use matter. Hugely. Pay attention to them, okay? You got to upgrade them in real time. Bend the odds in your favor by asking, wow, wouldn't it be cool if we get this dream house? Wouldn't it be cool if this grant writing thing takes off and I'm able to quit my job sooner than I even thought, retire earlier, whatever, right? Just have fun with it. Now, I'm going to share with you how I have taken my goals and gently placed them in each field. So like a field of predictable thing. I wanted to totally slay it on the family swag at a reunion, or I want to start building a costume trunk, or help my husband clean his hanger. They're goals I have, but they're like pretty predictable. Like I can do them. Then field of possibles, like I want to buy this land and build tiny houses on it and a creative lodge and host a bunch of people, or I'm going to build my house with chutes and ladders on it because I love that game, Chutes and Ladders. Like we're going to straight up have a slide out of the bedroom, down to the deck, to the hot tub. Wouldn't that be sweet? Like that is a field of possible goal. I want you to take some time to journal your own goals. Field of predictable, field of possible, and field of potential. What dreams require you to have courage that you've never done before, and which dreams are just gonna have to require trust? And if you're having a hard time with this activity, I want you to take yourself and look at all your goals and be like, oh, what's my upper limit? Okay? You're never going to receive $1 more than you think you're worth in pay, but also in life experiences, relationships, all of it. So I want you to explore that upper lid and say, ooh, I'm bumping into one. What can I do to elevate this? To recap, out with the SMART goals, in with the play goals. P, possibilities, the field of possible. Man, that's the fun zone, because this is where we really do things we've never done before. We become the person we've never been before, and as a result, we get to have the things we've never had before. And I'm not just saying material, I'm also saying things like paying for that trip to Disney, which, okay, that's material, but you get what I mean. Time with your family, travel, freedom. Allow yourself to play in the field of possible as much as you can, and this is going to require a lot of self-care and self-growth. All right, L, leap. To play in the field of possible requires courage. It requires taking a leap of faith with big, bold steps into the unknown. You will know if you're in the play zone, if you're honestly a little bit scared and you're having to lean on courage to pull you through. If you're experiencing imposter syndrome, you're doing it. A is awaken. Keep your nervous system from trying to drag you back into the fields of predictable all the time, and it's going to when it gets scary. You're gonna have to face head on those dragons that are keeping you playing small, right? The source of your fear, those childhood wounds, big T, little t, whatever it is that you need to give some attention to heal. It's going to be required to be able to stay in that zone. And lastly, Y for yes. Pay attention to the words you use. Playing in the field of possible means saying yes to you and not everyone else in your life. People pleasers, I'm looking at you, because for you to rise into this space, this place that you and I both know is possible for you, play goals are going to require it. Possible, L for leap with courage, A for awakening your inner awareness on sticky emotional patterns to clean up, and Y, yes to you, yes to your dreams. Now, if this kind of content resonates, please let me know in the comments. I've been reading and responding to every single one of them. It really helps me know which direction to take things. If you dig that, check out the next video on the 4 keys in my back pocket to living a life I love that you can swipe and use today too.